Howdy tubers, it's been a long time. I thought I would check in. I had somebody post a message on my channel today about where the hell I've been, and they watched all my videos and they wanted updates, so I probably owe you that. So yeah, so I'm doing fine. Everything has been good. Life has actually been pretty good lately, and today I had to go back to work. This teaching gig seems to be working out for now, so I keep doing it. But I don't normally have a whole lot to talk about with transition. See, hair is disappearing, beard is a little shady on this side and looks really good on this side, and I can't, me and puberty are not friends. Never have been. Go back and look at some of my videos, you'll see we're not friends. Not only was I sitting in the back of the class, I was actually sitting in the next schoolhouse. It was really bad. And I'm still working on it. I think having done all the research that I did when I first decided to transition, one of the most important things that I recognized were all of the people that kept saying that it takes roughly about 10 years to truly, completely transition. And then you watch videos of these young guys who are like hyper everything, and they're getting everything in like flashes of time. And I don't think that's truly realistic for most of us that transition. It does happen to some people. I think genetics has a lot to do with it. Like, I'm not a hairy person. I don't have hair all over my chest. I don't have hair on my back. I have a single long hair on my back, about yay long. I have one up here in my eyebrow, which is ridiculously stupid. I pluck it out, it comes back a few months later. But I really don't have, maybe my genetics are not hairy. I don't know. So my beard has been really slow, and it grows more on this side and faster than it does on this side, which makes it a challenge to balance. It's starting to come together here, but really over here, and not so much over here. It's a pain in the ass. But you learn how to manage it, and you just sort of change it and do different things to it from time to time. Some people don't notice the little things that you don't have. All of that notwithstanding, the majority of my day really isn't transitional. I'm just me now, and perfectly happy and comfortable with that. But I've reached that moment, and I am now 47 and a half years old, almost 48. And I have hit that brick wall where the time has come for me to complete my transition. And so, as luck would have it, the great wide world being what it is, our friend Dr. Crane from Brownstein Crane has relocated to Austin. And he's a really great guy. I had a consultation with him about 10 days ago, and if everything goes well, then I will be scheduled for surgery June next year, which is perfect because like I explained to him, as a teacher, I really kind of need the summer to recover because I can't afford to take time off during the school year because they will dock my pay. So if it doesn't go through this year and he can't give me the space, then I'll do it next year. But either way, within the next couple of years, I intend to do lower surgery. I have chosen phalloplasty. I know this is going to be a surprise. If you go back through my videos, you'll see that I really wasn't interested in that. But it's interesting how time changes your perspective about certain things, and education can enlighten you to certain things that you maybe didn't have enough information about originally. By the way, I'm going to drink. Cheers. So, my plan is this, and the reason. And well, let me take you back a step. Let me go back to where I got to this point. For the last many years, well, when I first started transitioning, I even told my mother, I said, the lower part's not a big deal, no one will see it, blah, blah, blah. And I really didn't think it would bother me that much, but it does. And every year, it seems to bother me more. And sometimes it's little things, like my brain won't stop processing the fact that when I walk into a men's room, I am different. I'm the only one in there that's different. And that doesn't mean that I haven't found myself in a restroom with a trans person before, but I don't know that, and so my brain, this thing right here, keeps processing this as I am the anomaly and everybody else is normal. Now, before anybody starts chewing me out for using the word normal, please understand this is my way of trying to describe where I'm at. So, not too long ago, somebody had told me that Dr. Crane was supposed to be moving to Austin. I have a friend in Austin. He was telling me all about it. And then, I kind of put it off. Well, back in June or May, I think it was the end of May, I decided to call. And sure enough, he had relocated. Actually, I think I emailed. And I asked for a consultation. And the lady's like, well, when would you like it? And I said, well, I would like to do it, as soon as possible. And she gave me some dates. And then she said, do you want to come in person or do you want to do it through Skype? And I said, well, if he's in Austin, I'll come in person. And if he's in California, I have to do it through Skype. And she goes, no, he's permanently relocated to Austin. I was so excited. So August 1st, I had my consultation. He's a really great guy. I like him a lot. He's very personable. I like the fact that we could have a very candid conversation, and he was really open and realistic about everything. So the general gist is this. I'm going to be the anomaly in the group of people who have been getting phalloplasty lately because I refuse to have my arm chopped up. So I know I'm going to make this kind of a long video, but I hope that some of this information that I give you will be helpful, and I just want to put it out there as my experience, and you guys can go there, take it for what it's worth. I chose to do my thigh. Now, the drawback to the thigh is this. You're going to end up with a thicker phallus. So he told me it would be like, I think he said it would be about like this, which is pretty fucking big. And I'm not really into pretty fucking big, but I'm not going to wear a penis badge on my arm. And here's the way I look at it, and I know this is my own personal view. I'm not saying anybody else has to believe this or feel this or think this or anything. This is me talking about my personal experience. Okay? All right. I told Dr. Crane that as much as trans people are in the news these days, because it's such a big deal, it doesn't take much for somebody to go out onto the internet and find these videos that even I make, and recognize that a scar on your forearm from here all the way down to here means you're trans. And I don't want that to be a part of my life. So I'm willing to take the fact that I might be a little less sensitive, and I might be a little thicker than I want to be, because I'd rather be able to put on a pair of shorts and hide my scar comfortably than to have to worry about covering up my arm. I know that some people have some range of motion issues afterwards. There's some nerves that can be affected through that. I can't do the arm. I personally can't do the arm. So I was really glad there was another option. And the thigh is going to be tough. I only have one good thigh anyways. I have a bad leg, so I can't. It's atrophied, so that it won't do any good anyway, so he's going to have to take it from my good leg, which will be its own challenge. But this is the choice I've made. And the interesting thing was trying to figure out how to pay for it. Ultimately, I have to have 2 surgeries. The total bill, if you paid cash, according to Dr. Crane, was going to be almost $90,000. So it was $75,000 for the first procedure, and then between $12,000 and $15,000 for the second procedure. And that was an eye-opening experience. Now, I do have health insurance through the school district. The interesting thing is that my school district policy specifically prohibits transsexual surgeries because they're elective. However, my school district uses Aetna to manage their plan. So here's kind of an interesting thing you'll find. I get on the phone, I call in. The lady answers the phone, and I say, okay, look, first of all, let me make sure that we are both on the same page. My understanding is that this conversation we're having is protected by HIPAA. So whatever I say to you is private and confidential, and you cannot disclose it to anybody in this conversation. She says, that is correct. And I said, okay, so let me explain to you my problem. Because if you go to the web, Aetna has a web page. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the I'll link it in the comments so you can go look at it yourself if you have Aetna insurance. Aetna has a policy that considers transsexual surgeries under certain conditions to be medically necessary, but you have to meet certain criteria. So I asked the lady, I said, if my policy says that they don't cover these surgeries, but your policy says that you will consider it medically necessary, if my doctor submits the claim for pre-approval and provides all this stuff that you require, then will Aetna consider it medically necessary and approve the claim? I said, or will you go back to the school district and look at their policy and then decline the claim because of that language in the policy? So I guess really what I was asking was, does the school district just trust Aetna to make the decisions about what to pay and what not to pay? And the end result, thankfully, was that Aetna follows its policy regarding whether to approve certain procedures or not to approve them. So the policy that Aetna has online is the policy they will follow. So as long as Dr. Crane puts through all the information that they require, all the letters and all that other stuff that they need, which his office is really good at, they've done this numerous times, then I'm good to go. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be free. It means that my truly somewhat shitty insurance policy is going to cover the bulk of it. I'm probably going to have to come up with close to $13,000. But $13,000 is much easier to finance than $100,000. $100,000 is like a house note. So this is my choice. This is what I've decided, and I think, well, I'll wait to hear from you all. You all tell me. I can share this experience. I may not share it moment by moment while it's happening, but I'll share it moment by moment while it's happening and record it, and then I may come back and just share it with you guys after the experience is kind of done. I feel like it's important to share with you the experience because I have reached out looking for others sharing that experience in order to find the courage to do my own. By the way, welcome to old age. See them? They're progressives. You know what that means? That means that I can't see you. Like looking at right now is a little blurry. But if I put like this and look up, I can read a book. And if I look right about here, I can see myself. And if I look here, I can drive a car. How's that? Yeah, it's kind of, I only have like 5 months, 4 months, 5 months. Yeah. And I'm 48. Anyways, okay, so this is long, and I didn't mean to make it this long. I'm going to make another video, though, because I want to start off the process of my thought process about phalloplasty and where I'm at right now, what I'm looking forward to, and the first steps that I have to take for this process. Okay? So, glad to see you guys again. And I'm always here. I'm always around working somewhere. But, peace.